They say when your wife starts using words like soul-searching, self-care, and burnout, she's either about to open a yoga studio or open someone else's fly. Mine chose the latter. Let me take you back. It was a Thursday. The kind of Thursday where your coffee's bitter, your boss breathes too loud, and your dog gives you the side eye because even he knows your marriage is circling the drain. Ashley had been off for months. Distant. Restless. Like a house cat dreaming of being a jungle lion again. Except this one had herbs and beach cocktails in mind. I need a break, she said over dinner that night, twirling her quinoa like it held the answers to our crumbling marriage. I'm burned out. I need space, maybe a little solo trip. Recharge. Get back to myself. Now, I've been married long enough to know space is rarely just geographical. I didn't push back. Not yet. Because part of me, the dumb, hopeful part that still remembered our wedding vows and the way she used to laugh at my dumb impressions, thought maybe she just needed exactly what she asked for. Rest. Stillness. An ocean view. A break from the noise. I even helped her pack. Gave her my extra charger, booked the Uber to the airport, kissed her forehead like an idiot. Watched her walk away in that tense sundress, suitcase rolling behind her like a getaway car. She waved once, turned the corner, and just like that, she was off to find herself. It didn't hit me until later that night, while I was cleaning out the fridge like some kind of sad sitcom husband. That's when I noticed the wine was gone. All of it. Not just the cheap stuff we used for cooking, but the good bottle I'd been saving for our anniversary. Ashley hated red, claimed it gave her headaches. But apparently she didn't mind when it was shared with the right company. Still, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not a jealous man. I'm a patient man. A reasonable man. I just didn't know I was being set up like a background character in my own life. The first few days of her trip, I played along. Sent the miss you texts. Got the occasional heart emoji back. Nothing too warm, nothing too cold. Like she was keeping the oven preheated just in case. Meanwhile, I started noticing other things. The dog stopped waiting by the door for her. Smart animal. Always had better instincts than I did. Her side of the bed? Untouched. Not even a crease in the pillow. She didn't bother FaceTiming. Just a few blurry pictures of sunsets and pool chairs. Her captions read like fortune cookie wisdom. Sometimes you have to disconnect to reconnect. Right. I wasn't snooping. Not yet. But something about her timing was too clean. Too choreographed. Like this wasn't a spontaneous escape, but a well-rehearsed exit. Day 4 into her healing journey. A picture popped up in the family group chat. Not from her. From her cousin, Rachel. Sweet, slightly clueless Rachel, who apparently forgot the difference between share with Ashley and share with everyone. Classic tech fail. The photo? Poolside. Resort-style lounger. Umbrella drink with a stupid flower in it. And there, front and center, was Ashley. On someone's lap. Not beside him. On his lap. Her arms draped around a man I'd never seen, grinning like she'd just won the lottery. His hands planted firmly where wedding rings don't exist. He looked like the kind of guy who says, no offense, right before saying something deeply offensive. Shirtless. Chiseled. Probably named something like Brad or Zane. Rachel must have realized too late. Message unsent. But not before the damage was done. My mom saw it. My sister saw it. Heck, even Uncle Marty, who still uses a flip phone, called me 30 seconds later like, Logan, is this a prank or are you getting a new brother-in-law? I didn't reply to anyone. Didn't throw my phone. Didn't scream. I just opened the chat, stared at that image for a solid minute, then typed 7 words. Thanks for your honesty. Now you're truly free. Sent it. Closed the app. And let the silence swallow the rest. Funny thing about betrayal, it doesn't hit all at once. It creeps. Starts in your chest. A slow burn that climbs your throat. Settles behind your eyes. I stared at that photo for a long time. Not just because she was on his lap, but because she looked so unbothered. Like I was already a memory, and a boring one at that. I didn't call. Didn't text her directly. What was the point? The group chat silence said it all. My sister left the chat. My mom responded with a confused string of question marks. Rachel, bless her clueless heart, never followed up. Ashley, radio silent. Like she'd chucked her morals and her phone into the same ocean. I spent the next day doing laundry I didn't need to do, cleaning a kitchen that didn't deserve the effort. Busy hands. Quiet mind. But inside, a plan started to form. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to plead. And I sure as hell wasn't going to play the heartbroken husband crawling for answers. I was going to watch, learn, collect. You see, Ashley didn't just commit the ultimate sin. She did it sloppily, which meant she left footprints. Digital ones. So I logged into our shared cloud account. You know, the one she insisted we keep synced, just in case one of us loses our phone. Sweet irony. Apparently, she hadn't realized the photos auto-uploaded. Or maybe she thought I was too dull to check. Big mistake. First batch? Him, same guy from the pool, taking a mirror selfie in their resort suite, shirtless, throwing up a peace sign like a teenage influencer. Ashley in the background, robe half open, clearly unaware. Second batch? Dinner photos. Candles. Her hands in his. Her lips on his cheek. Caption: Burnout recovery begins. The woman turned infidelity into a lifestyle brand. But the kicker wasn't the photos. It was the itinerary. A nice little PDF stored in the vacation planning folder on our cloud, because of course she forgot to unlink the drive. Flight info. Hotel address. Dinner reservations. She wasn't on some spiritual solo mission. She was on a couple's retreat. Romantic package included. And she had no idea that I now had her entire plan. Location, room number, checkout date. All wrapped up in a neat digital bow. I leaned back in my chair, hands behind my head, staring at the screen like it was a game of chess. Ashley had made her move. Now it was my turn. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Personally, I prefer it room temperature, with good lighting and an audience. By the time I finished combing through her travel itinerary, I had everything I needed. Flight numbers, check-in details, even a sunset couples massage she had booked under Mrs. Ashley Monroe and guest. Guest. As if the man she married wasn't supposed to fill that blank. I didn't rage, didn't pour whiskey, or cry into a hoodie. Instead, I started making lists. Because revenge, like anything worth doing, needs planning. Precision. Patience. First order of business. Money. See, I'm not rich, but I've always been financially aware. Ashley, not so much. While I paid the bills and handled the boring stuff like life insurance and investments, she focused on ambience. Throw pillows. Vibes. And thanks to that, she never noticed I had my own separate account, one she never had access to. Guess who stopped direct depositing his paycheck into the joint account that morning? I transferred every spare cent mortgage autopay, canceled credit cards, froze them all, left just enough in the checking account to lull her into thinking everything was normal. Then I texted her, "Hope the ocean's treating you well. Thinking of making a few life changes while you're out there finding yourself." No reply, just a read receipt. She was watching. Good. Second order of business, the house. Now, technically, both our names were on the deed. But the down payment? That was all me. The monthly mortgage? Me. The home office where she filmed her little motivational videos for 43 Instagram followers? Mine too. Originally a walk-in closet until I gave up my gym space so she could build her brand. So I made a call to a realtor friend of mine. Told her I might be interested in selling. Just putting out feelers. Nothing official yet. Just get the process rolling. Plant the seed. Third task, the fun part. Ashley loved being seen. She didn't want a marriage. She wanted a brand partnership. Every dinner, every hike, every painfully posed candid photo at the farmer's market. All for the gram. And now, here she was, flaunting her affair like it was a lifestyle choice. So I gave her what she wanted. Visibility. I took the pool photo from the group chat, the one of her wrapped around Mr. Protein powder, and I framed it. Literally. Printed it in glossy 8x10 and set it on the mantle, right beside our wedding photo. I labeled it, Ashley's Spiritual Awakening, Cabo Edition. Then I took pictures of the setup, posted it on our joint Facebook account, which she'd forgotten to log out of on our shared tablet. Caption: Growth looks different for everyone. For Ashley, it looks like this. Congrats to her, and the guy whose name I'm sure I'll never forget. Hashtag burnout recovery, hashtag found herself and someone else too. 10 minutes later, her best friend texted me, "What is going on?" 20 minutes after that, her mom called. I didn't answer. 30 minutes later, Ashley finally texted, "What are you doing?" Now she wanted answers. "Same thing you are," I replied. Rebranding. I turned off my phone and went for a walk. The next morning, I had a surprise waiting in my inbox, a $723 charge on our joint credit card. Spa treatment. His and hers. Her name was on the reservation. I guess he forgot his wallet. I disputed it. Fraudulent charge. Credit company flagged it, froze the card. Oops. A few hours later, I got a call from her. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice was tight, like someone trying to smile while stepping on glass. Logan, we need to talk. You're being really immature about all this. I never said we were over. I just said I needed space. I didn't plan this. It just happened. Can we please just talk like adults before you ruin everything? Ruin everything. She meant the life I built. The house I paid for. The marriage I committed to. The one she treated like a rental with no cleaning deposit. I listened to the message twice, then deleted it. I went back to the house and started packing. Not my things. Hers. Every hoodie, every pair of heels, every overpriced facial serum that promised eternal youth. Into boxes. Labeled them, Ashley's new life, handle without integrity. I stacked them neatly by the door. Then I pulled up her itinerary one more time and made a reservation, at the same hotel, under a different name. Because I wasn't done yet. It's amazing what you can do with a few clicks, a smirk, and a credit card she doesn't know exists. I booked the flight to Cabo under the name Marcus Lang. Sounded cool, vaguely mysterious. The kind of name that drinks whiskey straight and doesn't ask follow-up questions. 24 hours later, I was stepping off the plane into humid air that smelled like sunscreen, chlorine, and bad decisions. The resort was everything she described. Exotic plants, infinity pools, and staff trained to say absolutely, Mr. Lane, like I own the place. I checked into a room 2 floors down from hers. Corner suite. Ocean view. All expenses prepaid by the man who'd just gone through the 5 stages of grief in under a week and skipped straight to strategic chaos. I didn't come here to confront her. I came to watch. I wanted to see who she was when she thought I wasn't looking. It didn't take long. That evening, I sat at the rooftop bar in a linen shirt I hadn't worn since our honeymoon. The bartender handed me an old-fashioned with a smile and said, "On the house, Mr. Lane. You've got the look of a man with a story." He had no idea. Then I saw her. She walked across the pool deck like a rom-com extra who thought she was the main character. Red wrap dress. Sandals. Laughing. Twirling her hair. On his arm. He had that smug posture. The kind of guy who mistakes volume for charisma. He wore sunglasses at dusk, which told me everything I needed to know. They didn't see me. I made sure of that. They took a seat 1 level below me at the outdoor fire pit. I could hear them if I leaned slightly over the railing, so I did. "He's just so sensitive," Ashley was saying. "Like, he folds the towels the same way every single time. It's exhausting." Folds the towels? I taught her that. When we moved in together, she said she didn't believe in structure. So everything looked like a garage sale. Now she mocked the very order she once depended on. Mr. Sunglasses, who I now mentally referred to as Biceps, laughed like it was a TED Talk. That's because he was soft. You need excitement. Spontaneity. A man who takes what he wants. Ashley leaned into him. Exactly. You get me. You get me. The oldest line in the betrayal handbook. Second only to, "It just happened." I didn't stay long. I had what I came for, confirmation. They were a couple, not a fling, not a mistake. She wasn't just straying. She had left, emotionally and morally. The only thing missing was her mailing me the divorce papers with confetti and a thank you note. The next day, I ordered champagne to be sent to their room. Compliments of Mr. Lane. I even left a note with it. To the happy couple, nothing screams romance like stolen vows and room service. Enjoy the bubbles. The fallout's coming. The hotel staff delivered it around 3 p.m. I watched from my balcony as the bellhop rolled the cart to their door. Ashley opened it, smiled, then froze. Her hand clamped around the note like it burned her. Then she read it. Slowly. Twice. And turned pale. She looked around. Scanned the hallway. Looked over the balcony railing like a guilty teenager caught sneaking in past curfew. Now she knew I was here. And that I wasn't yelling. I wasn't crying. I was close. Watching. Calculating. By the time dinner rolled around, she was rattled. I saw them again at the restaurant on site, him obliviously inhaling lobster while she kept glancing at every shadow. She looked like a con artist expecting the lights to come up and the handcuffs to snap. So I left them a little dessert. 2 chocolate soufflés, delivered to their table just as they were finishing up. Each had a small white card under the plate. Hers read, "Don't worry, I'm not here to stop you. Just to study you." His read, "You're not her first. You're just the first who got caught in HD." The waiter said she didn't eat a single bite. He tried. Of course he did. She swatted his fork away and stormed off. The man-child followed, probably wondering who Marcus Lane was and why he was ruining his protein-powered vacation. I didn't follow. I went back to my room and slept like a king. The next morning, I called my lawyer. Told him to get started on the paperwork. I wanted the house, the car, and every financial record subpoenaed. I also wanted her to know that while she was frolicking in the tropics, I was moving assets, freezing accounts, and drafting the kind of divorce letter that gets published in coffee table books under Savage X's. Before I left the hotel, I slipped one last note under her door. No insults. No threats. Just this. Asterisk, you left for a vacation and found a new man. I stayed home and found the truth. When you come back, don't come home. The locks will be changed, your name will be off the accounts, and your reputation, well, let's just say your burnout story is going viral. Take care. Marcus Lane. Asterisk. Then I got on my flight and never looked back. But don't worry. I wasn't done yet. There was one more chapter. And it would sting far worse than champagne and soufflés. When Ashley landed back in town, she must have expected fallout. What she didn't expect was a rebrand of her entire life. The Uber dropped her off in front of our house, excuse me, my house now, only to find her key didn't work. She rattled the knob. Rang the bell. Nothing. Then she noticed the boxes. Every single belonging she owned sat neatly on the porch. Labeled. Taped. Even her juicer, she was big on cleanses when she wasn't busy polluting her soul. A printed sign taped to the door read, "Welcome home. Just not here." She called. No answer. She texted, "You're being childish. We need to talk." I replied with a single photo, her Instagram page. It was gone. Deactivated. Turns out when you leave your tablet at home, synced to all your accounts, you give your husband the keys to your digital kingdom. Her curated, filtered life disappeared in seconds. All those inspirational quotes she used to post about self-love and truth? Poof. Erased by the same man she lied to for months. You could almost hear the panic through her silence. Later that week, she showed up to my office unannounced. Security called up. "She says she's your wife." I chuckled. Not for long. I met her in the lobby. She was dressed like she thought it mattered. Hair done. Makeup immaculate. Red heels, maybe the same pair she wore on her burnout getaway. But her eyes? Cracked glass. "Can we talk?" she asked, voice small. "We are." "Logan, please." I made a mistake. "No," I said, "you made a choice. You just didn't think it would cost you everything." She glanced around at the staring faces of receptionists and clients. "Not here. I didn't cheat on you in public, Ashley. You did. So let's not pretend we owe each other privacy now." Her face fell. I could see the tears coming. But I wasn't moved. Not anymore. Before she left, I handed her an envelope. Inside, the divorce petition, a list of frozen accounts, and a short note that read, "Burnout has consequences. I don't usually post online. I'm more of a scroll silently while judging kind of guy. But this time, I had something to say. I made one post. Just one. A split image on the left, our wedding photo. On the right, the now infamous poolside betrayal pic. Her on that guy's lap, smiling like loyalty was optional. Caption. She said she was burned out. Said she needed to find herself. She did. On someone else's lap. So I let her stay there. PSA. If your partner suddenly needs a solo vacation, check the hotel receipts. It went viral. Like, viral. People I hadn't spoken to in years were texting me. One guy called me a hero. Another offered me a beer. A woman messaged me, "You just saved my marriage or ended it," depending on how the hotel receipts look. Ashley called me the next morning. "Take it down. Please. Everyone's seeing it." So was I said. "You just never noticed." Turns out, cheating on your husband is bad for your personal brand. Her motivational video sponsors dropped her. Authenticity and betrayal don't mix well in influencer world. She lost half her followers overnight. The other half stayed just to watch the crash. Her little boyfriend? Biceps? He stuck around for about 2 weeks. Then he bailed when he realized Ashley came with a suitcase full of drama, no stable income, and a reputation toasted over an open flame. She sent me a long email. Said she was sorry. Said she was lost. Said she still loved me. I forwarded it to my lawyer. Subject line, just in case. I didn't reply. I'd already moved on. Not with someone new. Just with someone real. Myself. 2 months later, I sold the house. Moved into a downtown condo with less square footage but more peace. I hung one picture on the wall, a simple photo of an open road. Freedom, framed. I heard from mutual friends that Ashley moved in with her sister, that she was working on herself, that she cried when she saw me on the news, being interviewed about online revenge, male heartbreak, and the consequences of duplicity in a digital world. They asked me if I had regrets. I said, only one. The interviewer leaned forward. What's that? That I didn't send the champagne to her flight instead of the room. We laughed. Cut to commercial.